Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you may be watching this. My name is Alex Turner. I am a business development manager for Associate Gulf Coast Management. With the current climate we're in everyone being encouraged to stay home and stay 6 feet from each other, we at Associate wanted to bring the education to you in your living room through a webinar series called Staying Home and Staying Connected. Right now, many of the vendors and service providers that you may already be familiar with in your association are offering specialized services pertinent to the COVID-19 pandemic. One of those companies is ServiceMaster by Right, and we are excited to have Christina Gay Poppin with us today to tell us about their services and how they can benefit boards and associations now and all time. Christina has been in this emergency damage restoration industry for about 7 years, and you've probably seen her on a panel or at a luncheon. So Christina, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yes, thank you, Alex, for having me.
Awesome. So today we want to talk about ServiceMaster by Right and the services that you're offering to associations. So let's just give a general overview about what you guys do.
Yes, so I'm Christina with ServiceMaster by Right. So what we typically do, we handle emergency services such as water damage, fire, smoke, mold remediation we do as well. We also do biohazard cleanup, and we handle large commercial jobs such as condos or commercial buildings, and we also do small residential. So it doesn't matter how big the job is or small the job is, we will take care of you. We've been in Fort Myers locally for 40 years. And we go as far north as Bradenton and as far south as Naples.
Cool. All right. So you are Bradenton to Naples. And when someone calls you for one of these, whether it's water damage, leaks, fire, how fast typically is your company able to respond to that?
So you will receive a phone call within an hour, usually within the next 30 minutes. And then we call to typically schedule if it's just an inspection or if you're not sure what's going on. Now, if it's an emergency service like a water issue that we have to get there right away, we will be able to get there within the next hour. So it depends on when you get it scheduled, if it's the next couple of days or depending how urgent the situation is, depends how quick we will get there.
All right, cool. And when you come out, who typically comes out initially? What type of employee?
So they are all our own employees. I know you hear about some subcontractors. The only thing we subcontract is roofing and electrical work. Everything else is our own employees. We have our own employees to do the drywall work if we have to rip out drywall if there's a mold issue. But yes, typically they are all our employees and they're all background checked.
All right, that's awesome, and that's really important these days. So, and we're going to do a little bit. We're going to talk more on your specialized or your services, that you offer all the time. I want to go into during this COVID-19 pandemic era. We talked the other day and you were telling me about this sanitization plan service that you offer. And, we talked about how this could be so beneficial right now to associations. Can you tell us about this? And I know you offer it all the time, but how this is pertinent to, the day and age we are right now.
So yes, depending, like if someone does want the preventative maintenance sanitization plan that we do offer, we will come out and we can either do a fogger, which is called the ServiceMaster, and that typically, it doesn't take too long. That's our cheapest bet when we do that, and it depends on the association if they want to do it bi-weekly or every week, depending how much traffic they get in their condo association.
Okay, wow. So tell me what the ServiceMaster fogger does, which is, by the way, the best name ever.
So if you're familiar with like in pest control, like a bomber type thing for cockroaches or whatnot, it's similar to that. It kind of, I guess it bombs the whole room with the sanitizing product. and it kind of covers all the contents in there and the walls and everything else to help disinfect.
Okay. All right. So in a pandemic like this that we're talking about, that could be going on for weeks, hopefully not, but months. How often would let's use a high-rise condo, for example, that has obviously multi-floors and multiple amenities. How would this come into play for a community like that? Or let's take it one step further and say that a board called us and said that they had a case of somebody being having COVID-19 in their community. How would this work for that?
So yes, if they have an existing case, we'll treat it like kind of like a mold remediation type thing. We'll come in, and if you look at the options on the slide, it would be the third option, which is the total deep clean. We would wipe down everything, all your contents, walls, etc., doorknobs, any common areas. So basically, yes, a very heavy duty deep cleaning for them to get rid of the infected areas.
Okay, great. And I assume that the price of this would be based on square footage, how many rooms, so on and so forth.
Yes, and we will cater towards your community on the pricing as well. So depending whatever you need, it will price it out. So yes, it can vary on the price.
Okay. And how long does this type of service take?
So depending, like the Blastmaster fogger would be the quicker one, but everything would be done within at least 2 hours. Let's be safe. We'll say 2 hours, depending on, like I said, what all needs to be wiped down, what they want in their association.
Okay. And let's talk about the fogger specifically. Is this something that the residents have to be in their home or out of the building for, or what's the safety, what's the precautions that we take with that?
Yes, we would want them out of the building for the fogger to take place. It is all green products though, so it's not like harmful or anything, but yes, we suggest they will be out. And if we really have to, we can do it after hours. So that just depends on what the association needs.
Okay. Okay, great. And then a preventative maintenance plan or an emergency sanitization plan, is that typically covered in association insurance? And if that's not an area you're comfortable with, what's your experience been with that?
I doubt it. Right now with this pandemic, I really doubt insurance will cover it.
Okay.
As of right now. So who knows if that will change later on. Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, but typically this is not covered under insurance.
No.
Okay. All right. And then anything else you want to add about this particular service before we move on and get into more depth of your other services?
I don't believe so. Like I said, it depends on the traffic flow in your building, how often you want to have us come out and do the preventative maintenance. Like the first two options there are more preventative. And then, like I said before, the third option is if you do have an existing case, then we will deep clean everything. And then after that, if you want to get on the preventive maintenance plan so it doesn't happen again, we would suggest that. So other than that, yeah, just let me know and I'll send whoever needs the information and we can price it out and go from there.
Right. So this is nice thanks for clarifying that for me because I didn't understand that at first. So this is both preventative and then after the fact, and being able to do this preventative measure maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks may be helpful. That's awesome.
Yes.
All right. So let's go into your other programs that you offer. If you can kind of detail some of these services.
Yes, we have a priority program. So if something big happens, such as a hurricane, I know we got a lot of people on this list when Hurricane Irma happened. So it's always good to be prepared. So we do recommend you get on this program before the fact, or else we won't have any space left because we only take a handful of clients for this. That way we can make sure we can handle everyone and take care of them properly. And it's an agreement. It's not a contract. So they sign up and basically we cater to their condo association and they kind of get bumped up on the list. So if something happens, they're our first priority. So they would come first before just someone randomly calling in who's not on our list. And it's no cost to sign up.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yep.
So on the priority program, let's just use hurricane as an example. A hurricane comes through. What items are they calling you for, or would this program apply to? I mean, if they had a tree that fell across their driveway, I assume they're not calling you for that.
No, it's if there's any damage inside the home, if like there's water, like wind-driven rain was a big factor in Hurricane Irma. So if water gets in, or a roof leak, we can come out and take care of the damages. We do the whole rebuild as well. So we would clean up the water and then put it all back together.
That's great. And then if you, let's say that people signed up for this priority program during this time, if something like this pandemic that we're experiencing right now, and God forbid it were to happen again, but if it were to happen again, would that be considered a big disaster and be put on this list for something like that, a priority list?
Yes, it will work for this as well.
Okay, great. In your the services that you offer for leak and restorations and water and smoke and fire, I assume that you help and you work with the insurance companies on that. Is that correct?
Yes, we will help dealing directly with the insurance company. That way you don't have to worry about the hassle on top of your water loss.
Yeah, definitely. And then if there's multiple owners involved, do you get involved with that coordinating insurances, or is that left up to each owner individually?
Well, typically, every individual owner is responsible, within their four walls. And then obviously, being an association manager, drywall and out is up to the condo association. So, I mean, we can help with that, but typically, yeah, it's up to their insurance company, individual insurance company, which a lot of people we notice don't realize that. Like if someone causes it on top floor, they think, oh, they should cover it. Doesn't work that way. I'm sure, yeah, you run into that all the time, I'm sure.
Right, definitely.
So yes, we can help with educating in that as well.
Okay, great. And then let's talk about in my experience with managing communities, maybe somebody on the second floor has a leak and the board for whatever reason has called it minor or doesn't think it's that big of a deal, so they don't want to call out a ServiceMaster or a damage restoration. What would you say for that? What would you consider too small, or would you not? Because I know with water, you don't even know what's happening behind walls and so on and so forth. So what's your recommendation for that?
So yeah, like you said, yeah, we don't really consider anything too small. If you're unsure of a leak or whatnot, we do have a thermal imaging camera that can see through the walls and detect that as well. So you don't have to like rip out the drywall or anything to see if you need to, have a leak behind there. We will do free inspections if we need to let you know what's going on. So yeah, really for us, there is no job too small or too big. We cater to the client and the board. We're very board friendly.
Great. That's great, Christina. Well, this has been super informative, and I thank you for sharing information on ServiceMaster with us today. Christina's contact info is on the screen. Please give her a shout if you are interested in any of the services now or in the future. And even if you just have some questions about what may apply to the services that they offer. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch. We hope to continue to provide you with educational content that you can engage in from the safety and the comfort of your own home. Christina, thanks again so much. I appreciate you joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me. And we at ServiceMaster hope all of you and your families stay safe during this pandemic, and hopefully it doesn't last too much longer.
Definitely. And as I've been saying, as soon as this is over, we're all going to have lunch together.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So if you have any questions on ServiceMaster, please give Christina a call. And if you have any questions on Associate Gulf Coast Management or any vendors that we may be in touch with, we can help you. Excuse me. We can refer out to your association as well. But please give me a shout. My name is Alex Turner, and I'm at 239-207-5774. Again, Alex Turner at 239-207-5774. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day today.